What's up, Vapors? It's Fresh Build Friday! That's right, finally, Fresh Build Friday is back. I do apologize for the lack of Fresh Build Friday videos lately. I've been struggling with a move and, all this work stuff that I gotta do and conventions that I gotta go to. But in any case, it is back, and I'm proud to present my first ever temp control build using 26 gauge spider silk wire. This is titanium wire. The company that sent me this is Envy, and I do want to give them a huge shout out. Make sure you go check out the link in the description below if you want to get more information about the products that I will be using in this video. A few cool things about this wire. They do come with a good amount of wire. I think it's 15 feet. Yep, 15 feet of wire and cotton. So you're ready to go. I actually ran out of cotton recently, so I'm glad that I found the stuff in here. Otherwise, I would have to use a cotton ball or something like that. It is titanium surgical grade 1, 99.5% pure, ultra low resistance, rapid heating and cooling, cleaner and longer lasting builds, and specialty cleaned. Now, there was a huge whole spec sheet on this stuff that when I received it that I do want to mention. Do not use this if you are not experienced builder. This is only for the pros, only for the people that have been building for a long time, know exactly what they're doing, know exactly how to build, everything like that. I even had a lot of trouble building with this stuff. I've tried it a few times and I just could not seem to get the resistance up. But the build I got for you today is really solid. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one. And it's working really nicely right now. So yeah, sit back, enjoy the video, guys, and yeah, enjoy. Alright guys, let's get right down into the build video. I'm going to take my spider silk here. This is 26 gauge spider silk. I'm going to take about a foot of this wire, so you can see me doing that now. So just want about a foot of wire. I think that's going to be enough. There we go. And put that aside. I'm going to clip it right in half because I'm going to be doing a dual coil setup today. Alright. Next up, I'm going to get out my handy dandy coil jig. I'm not actually going to be using it for the jig itself. I'm just going to be doing a little hand wrapping around the 2 millimeter post. So, just going to install that really quick. And I'm going to take my two wires, put them together in a parallel, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So put them through the little hole in the jig and start wrapping. I'm going to get my first wrap done and try to get these things as close as possible. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wraps, 9 wraps, and I'm going to do 9 wraps. Now the manufacturer specifies that you should be using 10 wraps. I'm just going to go with 9. I think that's going to be just fine because we're not doing a regular microcoil. We're doing a spaced coil build today, and I think that's going to be plenty of surface area and resistance. Just going to neaten up my coil a little bit right quick and take it off the jig. And this is the fun part, getting these two coils separated. Definitely not the easiest thing to do. And basically what you want to do is take one coil, and you're going to want to remove that from the other coil by rotating it around over and over again until it comes all the way off. It's tricky and it's definitely a pain in the ass, but it makes it worth your while in the long run. And I'm just going to speed this part up real quick in post-production so you guys don't have to sit here watching me fiddle around with this wire. And there we go. There's my two coils. Let's get a good close-up shot of those. And just like that, we have two spaced build coils, and that's how we're going to do our dual coil today. Alright, so as you can see here, I have a tugboat set up on my IPv3 Li. Don't think I'm going to actually use this build on the IPv3. I just want to, have a nice stable building platform and something that I know is not going to, short out on me if I build it a little bit too low. I have no idea what the resistance is going to come out to with this build, so you know as much as I do at this point. And I'm just going to attach my negative lead first so that coil doesn't move around. I'm going to then install my other coil after I bend up that lead. Do apologize, this is off camera. There we go. Right, so there's our other negative. Make sure we adjust it to get it to where we want it, and then screw down the positive. There we go. Something like that. You don't want to tighten these down really hard because this is a fairly fragile wire, and you don't want to break it. So just tight enough to where the coils don't move around when you're nudging them around. I'm going to then adjust the coils, trying to keep that spacing nice and even. Don't really want to mess up these coils because it was a pain to build them. So real quick, I'm just going to get that nice and level there, working properly. There we go. And that's pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect, but hey, for one of my first temperature control builds, I don't think it's too bad. All right, now I'm gonna just clip off the excess wire. No, can't do it like that. Coil's still moving around, so I'm going to tighten it up. I don't think this is going to work. I'm just going to clip it. It's almost time for new clippers for me, I think. There we go. Alright, so we're looking good. I think we're in pretty good shape. Now, with this build, I'm not going to dry fire it. You don't have to dry fire it. All you want to do is just wick it and juice it. So that's what I'm going to do. And spider silk comes with this little bit of Japanese cotton, so I'm going to be using that today for my wicking material. I'm just going to take a little bit and do my normal routine. So you don't need too much cotton considering this isn't a macro coil. It's a 2mm coil, so it's not that big. So I'm just going to take a little bit of cotton. And there we go, adjust the focus. And you want to thin out just the tip of it real quick, just so that it goes through nice and easy. And there we go, threaded through. You want to get it tight, but not too tight. You don't want those coils moving around too much, so right there is good for me. I'm just going to take a little bit more cotton. and get that ready. So a very thin strip, probably about less than half an inch, just less than half an inch I'd say, is good enough for this build. And thread it through, find that spot where it gets a little bit tight, and then there we go. Yep, back it off just a hair, oh, a little there. All right, that's good for me. And now I'm gonna grab my scissors. Of course, I forget to grab them beforehand. Trim them off right at the edge of the deck. There we go. You want to fluff up that cotton just a little bit. You know me and my fluffy cotton. And just try not to squish it in there too much. I know these coils are going to be really close to the edge of the deck, but try not to squish it in too hard, because you want it to stay as fluffy as possible. And there go all the little fibers all over my mod and everywhere. So there you go. Oh. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I think we're ready for some juice. So let's get that out and get ready to go here. Alright, today we'll be using some Fat Panda juice, twerking berries. Big shout out to Jen from Fat Panda for hooking me up with some juice. And if my camera would focus, you can see I'm just dumping some e-liquid on there. And once again, I haven't dry fired this. Going straight from wrapping the coils to juicing it up, or to putting in some cotton and then juicing it up. And you don't want to dry fire titanium from what I've read on the spec sheet. So here we go. We're gonna check our resistance here. It's 0.195, so that's pretty good. That's right in the area that I wanted to. Give a little quick test fire. And as you can see, it's working. And I am on temp control mode on the IPv3. Ooh, a little juice. All right, there we go. So it is working, but I think I'm going to throw this thing on the EVIC VT to test it out, because I have the titanium support. Alright, we're back, and I popped this thing on the EVIC VT. The reason I did that is because I know this thing has titanium wire support natively, whereas I don't know about the IPv3 Li. As you saw in the close-up, it did fire on there, but I wasn't sure whether or not it was going to read it properly, so I made sure that I put it on the right device for the job. So let's talk about the build. It was a difficult one. I struggled with it for a while. I couldn't get my builds to work with using this wire as far as temperature control goes. As far as I know, you can also use it for regular wattage mode as well, but this stuff, since it is titanium, will work for temperature control, and I'll show you right now that it's going to kick in. You probably won't be able to see that, but right away it hits temperature protection and limits the amount of power that goes to the coils. As far as the difficulty of this build, keep it to the pros. You know, you don't want to be using this stuff and, you know, not know how to do it. I had a bit of trouble using this wire, like I mentioned, and it's definitely one for the experienced builders. Those of you that have already built with nickel wire and want to try something different, definitely give this build a shot. But those of you that are just getting into temperature control, save it for later, but keep it in mind, because this build is working phenomenally. Right now, the build actually came out to 0.19 ohms. I'm using it at 540 degrees Fahrenheit at 36.6 watts. I can bump that up if I wanted to, if I want to get a little more power out of it, but honestly this build is working really well as it is right now. The warmth is on point, the flavor is on point, everything about this is great. I'm enjoying it really so far. Make sure you definitely give Spider Silk a shot, and I do want to give a huge shout out to Envy for sending me this stuff. On a more personal note, thank you guys very much for sticking around. I know I haven't been coming out with a lot of content lately, but I know you guys are going to continue watching these videos, and I do thank you for all the support. Just hit 3,700 followers last night, so big shout out to everybody that subscribed to me. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel for lots more of these videos. I will be doing more and more Fresh Build Fridays. As well as juice reviews, hardware reviews, etc. I have tons of juice from Vaping Convention Circuit, VCCPA, and also Vape Expo New Jersey. So make sure you check out those videos coming up soon. Lots of hardware to review, build videos to do, so stick around. Lots more content coming your way real soon. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the link in the description for Spider Silk. I'll have it down there for you if you want to check it out for yourselves. With that being said, that about does it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like this video, and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. As always, check out www.spinfuel.com for lots more of my videos, as well as Smoke and Joy and Spin Fuel videos. And as always, vape on.